Once again, two things before we get started today. First, I want to ask you to make sure that you've subscribed to my channel. If you've never done that before, just click the subscribe button down below and click that little bell icon to make sure that you get notified when I post new content. Second, if you have any questions about the Bible, culture, worldviews, theology, doctrine, all those different things, just send your questions to questions@pastormiles.com. I'm hoping to start some new content having to do with questions and answers in the not too distant future. So send your questions to questions@pastormiles.com and get your coffee. One of the things that I and many other people have observed is that division is one of the major outcomes of 2020. As we prepare this weekend to celebrate Independence Day in the United States, we are an extremely divided people. We are divided on cultural issues. We are divided on medical issues. And if we can agree on anything, it is that we are divided on political issues. Unfortunately, this division has found its way into many local churches and church networks and associations as well. The church that I pastor is connected with several larger church networks, and each of those groups are divided among themselves. Also, as a result of our leadership during COVID, we saw more than a few people and families leave our church in the last year. And I think it is safe to say that none of the people that left our church to go to another church did so for any biblically faithful reason. From what I can tell, all of them left over presumed political differences and ideological differences. It was ideology and not theology in every way. What is also unfortunate in all of this is that on more than a few occasions, I have heard other Christian leaders say on podcasts and YouTube videos, if your church isn't fully opened, or if your church isn't speaking on this issue, or if your church isn't dealing with things in this way, then you should find a different church. Pastors and leaders within some churches have turned the hearts of people within other churches against their pastors and leaders over issues that 9 times out of 10 have nothing to do with theology or doctrine. And when you get right down to it, those issues are pretty much unbiblical. Many times these leaders who speak with passion and conviction about their views speak negatively of others within the body of Christ, and they judge other leaders as cowards, or they judge them as unfaithful, or they judge them as weak. And nearly every time I have heard these judgments, I think a couple of things. First, I think of the words of the Apostle Paul in Romans chapter 14, where he says, "Who are you to judge another's servant? To his own master he stands or falls. Why do you judge your brother? Or why do you show contempt for your brother? For we shall all stand before the judgment seat of Christ. So then each of us shall give an account of himself to God. Therefore, let us not judge one another anymore." And then the words of a favorite author of mine in my favorite book. It's called A Tale of Three Kings. The author, Gene Edwards, he says, "In the spiritual realm, those who lead rebellions have already proven, no matter how grandiose their words or angelic their ways, that they have a critical nature, an unprincipled character, and hidden motives in their hearts. Frankly, they are thieves. They create dissatisfaction and tension within the realm, and then either seize power or spin off followers. They use their followers to found their own dominions. Such a sorry beginning built on the foundation of insurrection. God never honors division in his realm." God never honors division in his realm. It is one thing to divide over spiritual and doctrinal matters, but I can't help but think that God is not pleased when we fail to recognize that his kingdom is not of this world and that we aren't to lead like the leaders of this world. Something to think about. We'll see you next time.